Hi, my name is Gabriel and I will be speaking on multiliteracies. One of the aspects of multiliteracies is that it intends to assimilate different ways of communication into the educational process, because the society has changed so dramatically in the last 10-20 years in terms of the information exchange. It is only logic to assimilate new ways of communication, new ways of information transmission into the day-to-day education process. One of the main goals of education is to prepare the individual to the realities of the world he will face when he goes into his working life. And the more exposed this student or this learner is during his or her school years, the more efficient will be the end result, and the more prepared he will be to integrate the society or the modern society, in which the presence of multiple ways of communication is just a reality and not the exception. If we compare the characteristic of informational exchange of nowadays to 20 or 30 years ago, we have to acknowledge that it has completely changed, dramatically changed. Before, it was easier to somehow monopolize the flow of information from the sources, monopolized somehow by the small group that dominated the society, and the average individual will receive the information filtered by that small group who have previously decided what kind of information or not was good or not good enough for him or her. Nowadays, any individual can access information 24/7 of every kind of different sources. He can select from which sources he's going to get. It's either from radio broadcasts or TV, coming from multiple cultural backgrounds, or the World Wide Web, which is the easiest and fastest way to obtain an information that an individual would like at a certain moment. And when we acknowledge that individuals are using modern tools or new tools in the way they interact with their world, it will be somehow illogic to try to keep old patterns or traditional patterns of education in the daily lessons. We will have to integrate modern technology, modern ways of teaching, and we will have to try to negotiate and explore in which ways are we going to use this modern technology in our educational process. Nowadays, in my personal case, I'm studying through Open University, and the use of the internet during my lessons and during my studies is incredibly enormous. And I, coming from a more traditional background, I finished my bachelor degree in the year 2000. The use of the internet was more sort of a fancy way of communicating, but it was not really taken as serious as nowadays, in which just communicating through the web and receiving my instructions and sending my projects and asking and receiving questions, and just part of the daily reality. So we're gonna go through a period in which we have to, by trial and error, try to use more and more technology. Sometimes we're gonna fail, there's no question about it, and sometimes we're gonna have a great success. But I think more than evaluating if there's good results or bad results, the more students are in contact with new ways of communication that are used in our daily life, it doesn't really matter, or of course it matters, but the efficiency of these processes it's gonna be somehow justified, because those kind of way of communications are gonna be part or become part of their normal lives. When for an individual, the modern ways of communication become part of the daily life, he's already or she's already integrated into the society, which is one of the main goals of education.